Hello and welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Yeah. Hi. Whew, it's a little bit hot today. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Or watch when you can safely close your eyes. Today is Tuesday the 26th of May 2026 and bum bum bum, it's not, is it? It's never Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday? Yes, it's Trivia Tuesday. I was going to do one last week. Now let me know if I did do it last week. I apologise, but I had it all planned out, and I was going to talk about 50 old playground games, rules, origins, and what they were. I wonder if I did do it. I'm going to look back because there's a good chance I did actually do it last week. And I don't want to do it again. Do the same thing twice. By the way, this is this is episode 1618 of Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Don't want to do the same thing twice. I've done it 1616 times so far. No, 17 times so far. Ooh, Q&A Friday. When was that? It's so hot. It's too hot. Now, I had this all sorted so that you can only see the decent part of the wall, but this bit here is still bare. So I need to scrape off the old foam because I've got the what's-its to put on there. Just haven't done it yet. It's 3:35 in the afternoon. It's bank holiday week. It was half term. I can't do anything about the dog outside. If there's any like shouting and stuff, I'll try and edit that out. But I've got the window closed. I've got the curtains open so that I've got some light in here. Otherwise it's going to be, but it still looks a little bit fuzzy, to be honest. You can see that I'm proper sweating. That's just for my forehead. Imagine what the rest of my body's doing. Q&A Friday. Had to leave Vinny on his own. Emergency dentist appointment. Q&A Friday. Okay, so I didn't do Trivia Tuesday last week, so I'm going to do it today. Just let you know that I do have a YouTube channel, which this video is going to be on. What I'm thinking of doing is making regular videos. Yeah, that's it, making regular videos again. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Vinny is now licking my plate where I had my croissants. And if you'd seen me an hour ago, it was everywhere. Everywhere. Do you ever do that? You ever have something that's really messy? You're eating it, it's really messy. And you're like, you clean yourself off and you're like, how did it get in my socks? How? It's weird. So I upload my recordings. I do 6 different versions, 3 with music, 3 without music, of various lengths. I also post on Instagram, X and TikTok, Also upload my recordings automatically uploaded to my website, jasonnewland.com. Yeah. And I've got a Facebook group called Jason Newland's Boring Group. So these are my glasses that I wear for computer work. These are my glasses I wear when I'm out. Now, when I bought them, I was in near a shop window and there's a lot of light coming in. Now, when there's light coming in, these have a blue tint. It's very obvious that they're blue. Bearing in mind, I was looking at these without my glasses on, so I wasn't able to see properly. And I thought that they were very different. When you actually look at them, they look the same. Like, I can see the difference because there's light shining in. I've actually gone out with the wrong glasses on because they both look black to me. I made a mistake. I should have got like red or something for the, computer work, because I've got white ones for reading. But I can't be bothered to go and order a new pair or new frames and all that stuff. I can't be asked, if I'm honest with you. So I'll just leave it as it is. I thought maybe getting some Tipex or something and just putting some on the end of one of them, just so I know that that's not the ones I go out in, but the ones that I use for computer work. So I won't be taking these out of the house. I won't be taking the reading ones out of the house either. That's here for reading, unless I do take them out. And I can't believe it. I can believe it, but I've just started reading the first book that I've read in absolute ages, because my eyesight's been so bad, and it is still, my eyesight's not great. I got cataracts, I got a lazy eye, so I got cataracts in both eyes, and my left eye, for some reason, it's weird, right? I thought that with my new reading glasses, my left eye would be corrected. It's not corrected. I don't think there's anything they can do about it. It's the right, it's got corrected lenses, so I can read easier. And I had my Kindle out, started reading Wilt, which is one of my favourite books from when I was a kid. And I just read the first chapter. No eye strain, no nothing. It's nice. Could see the writing fine, and it's kind of like, oh, this is part of my life. I'm getting part of my life back, being able to read, being able to look at a computer without getting sore eyes, which I wasn't before. Being able to go out and just be able to see a bit clearer. Things aren't as foggy as they was. So I was sitting there with my reading glasses, looking at my Kindle, and I thought, well, this is good. This is very clear and everything. This is nice. And I thought, I'm going to try and read with my left eye only, which is something that I've never really tried to do until I was at the opticians a few weeks ago. And I thought maybe the new lenses would correct what was an issue back then when I did that. And I can tell you exactly what happens, right? So I can see the writing, it's fine, because this is what these glasses are for, the computer screen. So it says here, 1617, let me bore you to sleep. So I can read that, 1617, let me bore you to sleep. It's not hugely clear, but just, okay, eventually it is with one eye. With my left eye, 1617, the 7 is moving into the L, let's Let me. And that's turned into limty. Gore or you yoto to sleep to sleep. It's all muddled. It just all the words are mixing in with each other. I mean, maybe I don't know if it's an actual thing. I could be part dyslexic. Partially, just in one eye, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understood that dyslexia, the words move around, but they are moving around. I thought literally they're just like moving around, just like ants having a picnic or something. You know what I mean? Just like moving around of their own free will. But the words are moving around. They're joining into each other and skipping from one word to the next, and the 7 is moving along to. It's very strange indeed. Never experienced anything like it before. I mean, clearly I've been experiencing it for decades, but I didn't realise, because my right eye has been compensating for the left eye. Very weird, honestly, very strange. The right eye, absolutely perfect. It's not clear, it's still, but it's let me bore you to sleep, Jason, and it just, all the words stay in the same place where they're supposed to. But then I suppose the cataracts, there's a degree of blurriness in my eyes, just a little bit. It's not massive, but it's noticeable for me. Right, I just had an interruption. But it was an interruption I was not expecting. It was from the dentist. And I thought, I hope they're not phoning because they forgot to charge me. Because I've had two emergency appointments, and I don't know if that comes with NHS. I was told it did, but the idea of having like a, oh, by the way, you owe us £200 or something would be a bit, Anyway, they were just phoning to see how I was. See whether or not because last time I was there was Friday, so it's now Tuesday. Was it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? It's 4 days. Yeah, just phoning me up just to see if I'm okay and see if it's kind of start, healing and everything. And I just said, yeah. Thanks. Like, wow. I haven't had a huge amount of contact with dentists over the years, which is probably why I'm losing my teeth. But I've never known a dentist to sort of do calls like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I said, thank you very much. I'm feeling very loved right now. And she laughed. So I forgot I had my phone on ring, to be honest. I saw it said, I'm looking, I can't quite see what it was. If it just been like a regular person, I wouldn't have answered it, but if my dentist phones me, I'm going to answer, because otherwise I'm just going to have to phone them back to find out why they called me, because it's going to bug me otherwise, I had to phone the council today because my bathroom light's gone out. It went out last week, but I was busy with my mouth to focus on the light, and I phoned them up. They can't come out until next month to change the light. And before anyone says, well, you need help to change your light bulb. Really? What, are you 4 years old? No, that's just rude. Stop it. It's not a normal light. It's almost like it's some kind of it has to be fitted by an electrician, and it has to be taken out by an electrician. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. You can't get to it. It's like proper attached. Has to be unattached by an electrician. So I can't touch it. I was told that when they put it in. I didn't really kind of get why. But then he did say, oh, it should last you for 20 years. Or I made that bit up probably, but for quite a long time. And technically it has, but not as long as I thought it would do, because when it went out, it tripped the switch and the whole flat went, which was weird. Itchy beard. I was talking about something, wasn't I? What was I talking about? Glasses, probably. Anyway, so I had the dentist just called me up. That was nice. The bathroom light. No, run out. I forget what I was talking about. Anyway, Trivia Tuesday. Sweaty Tuesday, more like. Is it Tuesday today or is it Wednesday? Oh, it is Tuesday. Good. Right. So 50 old playground games, rules, origins, and what they were. Oh, before I go any further, just to let you know, I did a new recording today. I think it was number 7 in my series of breaking free from control and manipulation. And this one was called Fear of Upsetting People. Yeah. So there. Right. So I'm going to read these out. Some of them I will very likely remember. Some I might not. So British Bulldog is the number 1. I've heard of it, but I didn't know it had, I think because I was so little, I might not have known the names of the games, but I participated in the games anyway. A chasing game where 1 or 2 players stood in the middle while everyone else tried to run from one side of the playground to the other without being caught. Ah. Why did I have to get that come through right now? Someone just said we've got a heat wave or something. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mention that. Yeah, it's very hot outside. Can't go outside at the moment. Well, I can, but Vinny can't really. Look at my arms. Look at the difference in colour. It's really weird. It's on like quite normal coloured in my forearms, very white when it goes up, and then pink. I get pinker and pinker as I get up to my head. Really, isn't that a bit like dodgeball? But instead of a ball, it's kids. So you're running from one side to the other. And I'm guessing, just had this memory, that once you're past the line, you're safe. But once you leave the line, you can't turn back. You have to keep going until you get to the other side, unless, of course, you're caught. But then, if you're caught, you join the Bulldogs, which means the longer the game goes on, the more kids there are in the middle ready to catch you. So ultimately, it'd only be the very fastest kid who would win. Because let's say if you start off and there's like 10, let's say you've got 10 kids, or Now, 11 kids, 5 either side. When you had 10 kids in the middle, that's a lot to avoid, isn't it? Well, in fact, if there was 11, you'd win. If there was one left, that person would be the winner. It was popular in the UK schools from the 60s onwards, though similar games existed much earlier. Hopscotch. Now, do you know when you can scan text? Obviously not on my left eye. I can see straight away it does not say at any point that this was for girls. But we all know that hopscotch was for girls. Even if it wasn't for girls, hopscotch was only played by girls, and the reason I remember that is because I wanted to play it and the girls wouldn't let me. It's like, why can't I play? 'Cause you're a boy. You should be running around, being aggressive, pretending to be a soldier, and throwing invisible hand grenades. I don't want to. I want to skip and chuck stones and hopscotch and, hop on one leg. And then they say, but that's what hopping is. You don't even have to mention one leg, do you? You don't hop on 2 legs. Which is like, yeah, you can. No, if it's on 2 legs, it's jumping. Hopping's 1 leg, 2 legs is jumping. And I'm like, well, why am I having this big long conversation? Just let me play. And she said, no, you can't play. And I said, you realise you just wasted half of their playtime arguing with me. If you just let me play, then we could have had more time having fun. And she said, yeah, but it wouldn't be fun if you was with us, would it? She actually went. I never understood why she did that. She was quite famous for it. So basically, players threw a stone onto numbered squares drawn in chalk and hopped through the course on 1 foot. Yeah, 1 foot, hop. The thing is, right, it's one of those games that was both really flexible and also inflexible. It depends where you were. So, unlike playing football or basketball or cricket or, those kind of games where you would need equipment and you'd need space and you'd need a football pitch and all that stuff, with hopscotch, all you needed was a surface and a piece of chalk and a stone. And it didn't have to be a stone. It could be a penny. It could be a little twig. Twigs aren't great if it's windy, but you know what I mean. You can get heavy twigs like a big, but then that can take up half of the whole of the actual angiogram or whatever it is called, the chalk line thing. I'm just thinking, as you get older, do you make them bigger, the squares? Because your feet get bigger, don't they? And you might think, well, yeah, but you don't put your whole foot on it. It's just the balls of your feet, isn't it? Not necessarily. There's no rules that says it has to be your balls of your feet. This ain't ballet. Well, ballet's your toes, isn't it? But you know what I mean, though, when I say that, don't you? It's like maybe you do. there's no rules that says you can't land flat on your feet, and you can't do that if you've got a little tiny little square and you're in your 60s. So you have to avoid stepping on lines and retrieve the marker while balance. Wow, that's not going to happen. How do you do that? So you're standing on one foot and you have to get something off the ground while you're balancing on one foot. I suppose you just crouch down, don't you? In them days, mind you, I mean, yeah, in them days I didn't have 16.5 stone to balance on one leg, you know, so I guess it would have been easier back then. That's what annoys me. When people say, oh, fat people, oh, they're weak, and I tell you what, the larger, I call myself fat, but I wouldn't call anyone else fat. But people that are overweight, providing they have mobility, have very, very strong legs. Because you have to have. If you're walking around and you're carrying a huge amount of weight, your legs are carrying that weight, which means your legs are very strong. So there. And then some people say, oh, we got no muscle in his stomach. Again, this is for my fellow fatties. If anyone says that to you, oh, you got no stomach muscles, you can point out to them that if you didn't have any stomach muscles, you wouldn't be able to stand up. You wouldn't be able to get out of bed. You wouldn't be able to do hardly anything. You'd just be laid there. You wouldn't be able to do anything because your stomach muscles is what keeps your posture. You wouldn't be able to do anything without your stomach muscles. Of course you've got stomach muscles. Yeah. Okay, very well hidden in my case, but I do have them. Me. Apparently hopscotch, the origin, goes back to Roman Britain, where soldiers supposedly used hopping drills for training. So here's me say it was for girls. That's just because it was always girls when I was a kid playing it, and I wanted to play it and they wouldn't let me. Now, had I known that the Romans used it as their main training tool for the Roman soldiers, I could have used that bit of information instead of just pouring a bucket of water over the chalked out line. Conkers. Children threaded horse chestnuts onto string and attempted to smash each other's conker. The rules: players took turns striking, and the last unbroken conker won. Became hugely popular in Britain during the late 1800s. Now, I never liked conkers. I did participate because I had two older brothers. They were into it, and I remember I'm sure they used to put the conkers into the oven, soak them in vinegar, all kinds of things to try and make them as hard as possible. In other words, cheat. And I didn't like it because I'd often get hit in my fingers or my hands by the other person's conker. And my rule is learn to aim or don't play the game. That was my rule for that one. That's my little rhyme. Learn to aim or don't play the game. I don't want my hands bruised. By the way, I'm really pleased with myself and how quickly I came up with that. and I acted like I thought of it years ago, just now. The genius that is me. I didn't like conkers. I didn't see the point. And another thing, I really struggled, even as an adult, to put on that excitement. Do you know that excitement people have when they're watching football? I don't have that in me. It's just not. It's not there. It's like or that kind of overly. I'm not mocking it. I suppose I am really, aren't I? But I'm not. So I went to a Anthony Robbins 3 or 4 day seminar in London, and at the end of it there was a firewalk, and people were doing the firewalk, and I did it as well. And there was people crying, people screaming with joy and ecstasy, and I'm like, okay, why are people acting like this? And I didn't have it in me. I just didn't. It would have been fake. I would have had to have faked it. Now, I think the only time I got genuinely excited in public at a sporting event was when Frank Bruno won the world title in 1995, and I was in a pub in Stratford. Now that was exciting, but that was because I was a huge fan of Bruno for a long time. Like at this point, I'd been a fan of his for, I don't know, 15 years or something. So, yeah, it was a big deal. But I got excited, and I probably hugged and kissed a few people. Perhaps I shouldn't have done, but you know, it was everyone was excited, and it was good. But I didn't have to pretend. I'm not saying that people at football matches are pretending, because I'm sure they're really genuinely, really excited over whatever it is they're excited about. And I don't know if alcohol's needed for that. I think I would need something to get me into that kind of a trance of, I don't know, crowd mentality. See, crowd mentality, it can be a negative thing, but it can be a lovely thing if people are celebrating and all happy, being moved by the crowd. Let's say if you've got thousands of people sitting in anticipation of something amazing, like a sporting event or a concert or something, then that atmosphere, I'm guessing, would be very effective. I'll be affected by it. I've never done it, so I don't know. I think from a small perspective, when I was involved in comedy, I would get affected by the audience when I was watching a comedian. If the audience were really having a good time, I'd enjoy it more. But if the audience were hostile or just not liking the comedian, I found it hard to enjoy it. But I didn't like conkers. I know this isn't really like games that I liked, but just didn't like being hurt, you know? You'd think that would be something that the Romans would trade in, as it's kind of very combative and very aggressive, in fact, I would argue. So the next one is marbles. Now, if you say the word marbles to me, or if I say the word marbles to me, here's what I think of. I think of junior school, because I went to 3 junior schools, or 4, 3, something like that, and the final junior school, I had marbles. I had a lot of marbles, and some of them, they were called cat's eyes or something, and that was beautiful. Some of the marbles were absolutely gorgeous. So I used to play marbles. I like marbles, and I realise I keep saying the word marbles for some reason. I know we're talking about marbles, but do I have to keep saying the word? So basically, if you don't know what marbles are, they're these balls, and it's kind of ingenious, really, because it's fun for all ages, really, I guess. And they've got these little bits in the circles, like different colours and whatever. So the rules: you win marbles by knocking opponents' marbles away. Different schools had different rules. I think for me, pretty sure that you take turns with the marbles, and if you managed to hit their marble, then you'd win their marble. So you'd both, one would take a shot, which would probably be quite a far distance away. The next person would try and hit their marble. So if they missed it, the original person who chucked their marble would then try and hit that other person's marble with their marble. At this point, the marble might be quite close. That's my memory of how to play it. The origin marble games date back thousands of years to ancient Europe and Rome. Tag-tig. Tag-tig? Anyone? One player chased everyone else trying to touch them. Rules: the touch person became it. Okay. Tag. Origin, or you just call it it. Play it. Origin's one of the oldest children's games in the world. It's just it, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of... I reckon hide and seek kind of, because it's a little bit hide and seek's a little bit like that, isn't it? Except you don't have to say it. They used to be like, you got the lurgy, you're it, no give backs, no, you've got the plague, yeah, and you'd run off and feel good about yourself. But yeah, I mean, a game of it could last weeks. Okay, it lasts for a while. But it's just remembering who's in the game, because not everybody likes to be tagged. You ought to someone shout and you push them and say, you're it, and run off. Now, a few times I got in trouble with the teachers for doing that. I remember sitting outside the other side of the desk and being told, you can't push the teachers, it's not right. Hide and seek. One player counted while the others hid. Find a search for hidden players. First person found usually became seeker next round. Greece that came from. I used to play hide and seek, but then the thing is, if you hide too well, it becomes a little bit boring. And also, I played hide and seek. First of all, okay, if you're going to play hide and seek, make sure that the people you're playing hide and seek with know that you're in the game. That's important. Because I remember once I was playing a game, I was just standing around and all these kids said to play hide and seek, and I'll count to 100 or 100 down. So I'm running and hiding. So I'm in a tree like 3 weeks later, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they knew I was in this game. Red Rover. Don't know about this one. 2 teams stood opposite each other holding hands. Really? One team called someone to run and break through. If they failed, they joined the opposing team. Likely originated in the 1800s in Britain. I don't remember that. One team called someone to run and break through. Alright, so it's basically just trying to break the defence, I guess. That sounds like quite a like an army military kind of thing, doesn't it? Simon Says. A leader gave commands beginning with Simon Says. So the rules: only obey commands starting with Simon Says. Mistakes meant elimination. Probably developed as a listening and discipline game. So basically, Simon Says, and if you say clap your hands, and whoever claps their hands, they're out because Simon didn't say clap your hands. Now there's a problem though, because one of the best people at playing that game was actually called Simon, and people would argue saying, yeah, but you're Simon. No, but I've got to say Simon Says, otherwise it doesn't work. Now jump up and down, and they jump up and down. You're out. What do you mean I'm out? Simon Says jump up. No, but I didn't say Simon. Yeah, but you're Simon. It got confusing. Duck, duck, goose. Children sat in a circle while one tapped head saying duck. Really? Rules. Choosing goose triggered a chase. Popular in North America since the 19th century. Oh, okay, cool. I don't remember that one. I think it's because no one wanted to touch my head. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Players asked the wolf the time while creeping forward. If the wolf shouted, dinner time, everyone ran. What a lovely, happy family game. Blimey. Yeah, I don't remember doing that, but it sounds like fun. Kirby. Players stood opposite curbs following a ball. Hit the opposite curb and catch rebounds for points. Strongly associated with the British streets of the 70s to the 90s. Nope, I don't remember that. Skipping rope. Children jumping over a skipping rope. Solo or group skipping with rhymes and challenges. Again, and it's not sexist to say this, because when I was a kid, it were only girls that did this, unless you went to a boxing gym. And I wanted to do it because it looked fun, especially when you got like 2 people doing the ropes at the same time. That's like proper coordination. It's amazing. I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed, but they didn't let me play. There was no kind of injunction or anything. Elastics. I did learn to skip ropes because when I started doing karate and that, I got some ropes, and I used to go running and stuff. So I was never much good at skipping. Never really enjoyed it. Didn't really give me everything I hoped for out of life, It wasn't really, yeah. I think there's only so much fun you can have doing the same thing over and over again. I suppose it depends what it is. if it's eating chocolate cake. There's a lot of fun you can have. Elastics. A long elastic loop stretched around two players' ankles. Don't remember this. Performing jumping routines without touching the elastic incorrectly. Very popular in the 80s and 90s. Nope, don't remember that. I don't, generally. Cat's cradle. String patterns made between fingers. Players transferred shapes back and forth. Ancient game found in cultures worldwide. I've seen this again. I've only seen when I was a kid. Saw girls do this, like put and then like share it and put it onto each other's fingers and make all these patterns and stuff. I wanted to do it, but no one wanted to touch my hands. Heads down, thumbs up. Children sat with heads down while chosen players sneaked around. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Rules. Guess who touched your thumb? Popular classroom game in British schools. I mean, I played that, but no one ever touched my thumb. Musical chairs. Players walked around chairs while music played. Yeah, this is something. I'm saying this like my experience is everyone's experience, which I'm sure it isn't, but musical chairs is one of those games where it starts out as fun and it can become quite aggressive at the end, because you know you might have like 30 kids all dancing or walking around the chairs maybe, and one chair gets removed after each round, and when the music stops you have to sit down in a chair, and someone gets kicked off every time. But then you've got one chair left, and you're determined to sit in that chair no matter what happens, no matter, even if it means getting expelled, you're sitting in that chair. It didn't bring out the best in me. Honestly, you know, because musical chairs was always played at birthday parties, and I'd hear the same thing. Well, you know, eventually I wasn't invited anymore, but the amount of times people say, just Jason, put the gun down. Victorian party games. Musical statues. Children danced until the music stopped. I used to like this. I used to like that game. You freeze instantly or be out. What I didn't like is the person that was in charge, because quite often I'd find that you'd have these games at school and maybe at the Christmas party or some kind of school thing, and I'd be like, I knew that I'd frozen because I'd practiced at home. I knew that I'd kept quiet and I wasn't moving. So I'm pretty sure the teacher had it in for me. And it's like, what do you mean you practiced? Well, what I used to do is I used to creep around in people's gardens right in front of the kitchen where they'd be like doing the washing up, and I'd just be completely still. And what I'd do, if anyone is like movement, I'd sit down on the grass. And I remember once the floodlights came on and they looked out and said, oh, down that was it. Oh, it's just a gnome. Just a garden gnome. Which annoyed me a little bit. But it's my fault for taking a fishing rod with me. Blind man's buff. Buff. A blindfolded player tries to catch others. See, that's a bit rude, isn't it? It's like you have to identify court players by touch. Yeah, I got banned from that one as well. And no one wanted to play with me because no one wanted to catch me, because no one wanted to touch me. There's a theme here, isn't there? I don't know. I remember saying to my mum once, I feel like people don't want to be near me sometimes. And she said, well, that's because you stink. Mother May I, players requested permission to move towards Mother. Maybe you've had a bath at least once a week. That, you know. Players requested permission to move towards Mother. Must follow exact instructions. I don't remember that one. Sardines. Reverse hide and seek. Reverse hide and seek? One person hides. Finders squeeze into hiding spot silently. Likely named after sardines packed tightly in tins. I don't know if I'm being a bit dim, but I didn't understand that. Bulldog charge. Variation of British bulldog with rougher tackling. Cross safely without being stopped. Frequently banned in schools. Yeah, basically it would be like rugby tackling. Another situation where I was told to leave my gun at home. Kiss Chase, a playground chasing game involving pretend romance. I didn't realise it was pretend. Chase and tag players, common in UK primary schools. It got banned shortly after I started playing it. Yeah, honestly, Kiss Chase is not allowed in schools anymore. Jacks is another one. Small objects tossed and picked up with a bouncing ball. What? Oh yeah, I used to play that. Yep, I remember that. Four square. Ball game played on a square court. Bouncing ball into other squares. Eliminate mistakes. Popular in American schools in the 50s. No. Four square. No. Chinese whispers. See, this is interesting. Like it's a game. It's a game. But it does make you wonder. Like, a message passed secretly along a line. So you whisper something to somebody into their ear, pass it on. Now, they're supposed to pass it on correctly. And then when it gets to the 20th person, the final phrase, the final thing that was said, usually becomes nonsensical. It's not anything like the original one. It's a Victoria Parlour game. But when you think about it, and that's in what, 5 minutes? Yet people were writing about stuff that happened hundreds of years ago. Stories that were passed down for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until finally it was written down. Just like querying reliability. Chinese whispers. Oranges and lemons. Children formed arches with arms. Players passed underneath while singing. That doesn't sound like a game. How do you win? Do you have to knock people over? I don't know. Stuck in the mud. Tag variation where frozen players waited for rescue. You freed teammates by crawling under legs. Another one I was banned from. Modern playground adaptation of tag. Farmer, farmer, may we cross your golden river. That's a bit of a long name for a game, isn't it? Farmer, farmer, may we cross your golden river. Players try to cross while avoiding capture. Rules. Caught players joined the farmer. Very old British chasing game. Crack the whip. Players held hands in a line and took fast turns trying to fling players off. Traditional winter playground game. Sounds a bit aggressive. London Bridge. 2 players formed an arch. Trap players at song's ending. Based on an old English nursery rhyme. I think London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. Stickball. Street baseball using sticks and rubber balls. Simplified baseball rules. Urban America, usually New York. Okay. Well, do you know where baseball came from? It came from softball that we had here. And softball was basically created as a children's game version of cricket. But instead of a hard ball and being taken seriously like cricket is, softball was just, you hit the ball wasn't going to hurt you, and you hit it as hard as you can, and you just ran around as many times as you could until the person could bring the ball back. And that was softball, or rounders. We used to call it rounders. And then America turned it into an actual sport called baseball. Poo sticks. Players dropped sticks into rivers from bridges. First stick to appear downstream won. Oh, okay. See, I remember the first time someone said to me when I was a kid, Jason, do you want to play poo sticks? And I thought, okay. See, I didn't know the rules and I was banned from that game. Just shows you can't always assume. Bulldog Tig. Hybrid of tag and bulldog. Tag players joined catchers. Dodgeball. Only game I was ever any good at school. Dodgeball. So players threw balls at opponents. Hit players were eliminated. Based on a much older throwing game. So dodgeball, I was good at it. Partly because I was little. Much smaller than pretty much everyone else in my year. And I was like a monkey. I was doing somersaults. I didn't mean to. I was just flopping everywhere and just jumping and landing on my head and whatever. And I was really good at avoiding the ball. I mean, the ball was half my size. Honestly, it was easy to avoid it. So, dodgeball was what I was good at. Yeah, the only thing I was any good at school. Capture the flag. Teams attempted to steal each other's flags. I don't know if we did that. I've never really been big on flags in this country, really. Not when I was a kid, anyway. Cops and robbers. Role-play chasing game. Cops chased robbers into jail. Yeah, I remember the title Cops and Robbers, but I never could understand how to play the game. And apparently the robbers aren't really supposed to rob stuff. Some people used to take it too seriously. Hence why I was banned from that game. Cowboys and Indians. pretend adventure game, toy battles and roleplay. I used to play Cowboys and Indians, and it's not played anymore, I do believe. Inspired by Western films and TV. Yeah, I had what was classed as an Indian costume. I also had a cowboy costume with guns, a hat, and what's those things on the ends of your boots that are little wheels? Had them as well. And yeah, every Sunday, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, there'd be Cowboys and Indians, John Wayne and all that stuff. Old movies, because I'm talking like early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, but it was old movies from the 50s and the 60s. Ring a Ring of Roses. Children danced in circles singing, and falling down together as song ended. It's not really a game, is it? I think anything that's just repetitive, just ring a ring of roses, a bucket full of roses, down, and you fall down. I mean, the falling down could be nice, I suppose. It's like, whee, that can be a bit like that. But it could also be painful. It depends if you're doing it on a beach or if you're doing it on a, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a place that wouldn't be quite so nice. Refuge site, perhaps. A ground like broken glass. Anyway, I don't know. So, Fox and Hounds. One player chased multiple runners. Yeah, not really my thing. Grandmother's footsteps. Players crept towards a leader, and the rules were freeze when leader turned around. That's just rude, isn't it? Like creeping around behind grandmother, but when she turned around you just froze like that. Yeah, that's really going to do her a world of good, isn't it? Statues. Can you imagine, especially if they were like into kind of science movies, science fiction movies that watched, oh my god, I've turned into the Medusa. My grandchildren have turned into stone. Statues. Children froze in funny poses, and the rules: moving meant elimination. Common party game. Oh, I just realised. Players crept towards a leader and freeze when the leader turned round. So yeah, that was a thing. So someone have their back to you, and you'd be like that, making and then they turn around and you'd be stuck like that. But I didn't know it's called Grandmother's Footsteps. That's the bit that I find a bit weird. Other than that, it was a really fun game, especially because you make the weirdest faces, like, and have to stay like that, even if the wind didn't change. Tug of war. 2 teams pulled a rope. That's fun, but that's very much about strength, isn't it? And I'm not sure if I ever won a tug of war match, ever. Leapfrog. Players jumped over bent over teammates. I don't know. I mean, for me it wasn't so much fun because everyone was so much bigger than me. So I used to end up like landing on their head or on their back. I'd have to climb over them. Piggy in the middle. 2 players passed a ball over a middle player. Middle player tries to intercept. Wall ball. Wall ball. Players threw a ball against the wall. Catch rebounds cleanly. Urban playground game. Penny up the wall. Coins tossed towards the wall. Closest coin won. See, this is a game I used to play in my teen years. And it was hugely popular. Hugely popular. I mean, I think it kind of started off with 10 pence pieces and 20 pences, and then people would turn up like with pound coins, which at 14, 15 is a lot of money to be like just gambling away. It's an old British street gambling game for children. French skipping is the same as normal skipping, except you eat garlic when you're doing it. I don't know. Elastic skipping game with songs, complex jump sequences, popular in Europe. Because there's some weird some like skipping. There's some really, I'd say, quite outstanding skipping tricks. I've never done any, but I've seen them, and it's amazing. Honestly, I don't want to be able to do it either, but I didn't like skipping. I didn't see the point. I could skip, but it was very like 1, 2, 3. I don't think I got to the point where I could like jump up and it'd go around like 10 times before I jumped down again. No. And when they do that, when they kind of move from side to side and like a lasso or just couldn't do that. And then they start eating breakfast cereal while they're doing it. It's like, no. I didn't want to be that good at something that I wasn't interested in. You know what I mean? Battle tops. Players spun tops in arenas. Last spinning top won. An ancient toy dating back thousands of years. Arenas. They did this in arenas. I mean, an arena is like 10, 20, 30,000 people. Surely not. And the last one on the list is called Knock Down Ginger. I think that's self-explanatory. So what it says, children knocked on doors, then ran away. Oh, no, that's not what I thought. It's completely different. Rules, avoid being caught. Long-standing British prank game. So they knocked on doors, then ran away. Don't know why they gave it the name they gave it then. It's very, very strange. Strange. Let me just check my phone, see if I've had any. Oh, dentist. So dentist called me. No emails. My Ready Breck, has it been delivered? No, not yet. I need to get some milk. Just like to check the stats, have a little look to see how many people have listened or watched my videos that I've posted on TikTok. X doesn't really share the information with me. Instagram does. I mean, Instagram varies from like just a few to quite a lot sometimes. Very variable, it's not very consistent. I'm consistent with what I upload now. Like today, exactly, that's really weird, right? Okay. This is Instagram. 40 views. Oh, okay, right. So this is Instagram. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. 2 views. So what is that? What's the days? Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So Thursday, the video uploaded, 2 views. Friday, 40 views. So I upload a different one every day. Saturday, 193 views. Sunday, 228 views. Monday, 209 views. And the one I uploaded a few hours ago, 213 views. So it's just... And I'm doing it every day, I upload every day, and for some reason, I don't know why, they've started to take off. I was getting 14, 18, 20, occasional 300, but generally quite a small amount. And now suddenly I'm getting like hundreds. I can't figure it out. I mean, maybe it's the consistency. That's the one thing I've discovered over the years, is being consistent is... I'm not going to say it's a secret, because I don't know what the secret is. But it's definitely useful to be consistent. Which is why I try and make a recording every day. And the recordings I upload to Instagram, X and TikTok, they're not necessarily the day that I made them, so I'm usually a few days behind, which means I've always got something to upload, and I upload the same one to all 3 sites, all 3 apps. X doesn't give me any stats, so I've got no idea really if anyone's listening. Maybe I'll just have a little look while I'm thinking about it. While I'm thinking about it. X. Wonder where it could get notified. XXXX history. Videos. May the 9th. Nope. So I don't know where the stats would be. Download Grok, Creator Studio, Inspiration, Analytics, Advanced Analytics with X Premium. No thanks. See, yeah, there's no way of finding out really if it's not even telling me if I've had anybody look at my stuff. I mean, genuinely, I've got 2 followers on X. Wow. I really don't know. And it doesn't tell me if I've had any views at all. Yeah, it doesn't tell me. Nope, nothing. Doesn't say anything about how long, how many people have listened or watched or anything. It's a little bit annoying, really. Wonder why that is. I don't know why. Really don't know. Oh well. At least I can see what's happening on the Instagram and on the TikTok and on YouTube and on the podcasts and on Facebook. So I can get the stats from most of the stuff I do. It's just not on X. And maybe no one's listening on X. I'm not an active listener or viewer of X myself. I upload my latest video or the latest for that day every day, and that's it. And yeah, I might shave my head again. I don't know. It don't feel so hot now. It's quite nice. I mean, it's not late. It's 10 to 5 in the afternoon, and it's feeling a lot cooler just in the last hour of doing this recording, this video. It feels cooler. That's weird, isn't it? Very, very strange. You. Vinny's fast asleep. He's fast asleep. This heat, I think the heat's really made him tired. It's made me a bit tired, but you know, I had an afternoon nap a few hours ago, just for about half an hour to an hour. But it's just knackered him. So I'm going to go now. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye. You woke up. You just listening for me to say thank you for listening. As soon as he hears me say thank you for listening, remember to be kind to yourself, his ears prick up and he wakes up. That's his cue. Amazing. See you later.